Have you ever thought that what makes a dog happiest is a new toy, a tasty treat, or a long outing in the park? But the truth is far gentler. Their happiness lies in the little moments you often don't notice. The moment you walk in the door after a long day and their eyes light up just because they see you. The moment you softly call their name from the kitchen, or when you accidentally rest your hand on their back while watching TV. Those seemingly simple things are the whole world to a dog. In today's video, we'll explore 12 things dogs love most in life. Not big things, not expensive things, but the things you already do every day that you might not even realize. And once you understand them, you'll see that a dog's love isn't loud, but it's deep, it's real. And sometimes all it takes is one moment to reach your heart. Section 1. When you talk to them like a friend. You might not realize it, but every time you quietly call their name or accidentally say something in the kitchen, that is the moment their heart lights up. For a dog, your voice isn't just a sound. It's closeness. It's a signal that they're being noticed, that they belong. Science shows that when you speak to a dog in a warm, slow tone, their brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone as when a child is held by its mother. Even more interesting, your body reacts in the same way. You and your dog are connecting in the true biological sense just by a small sentence. To a dog, it's not a compliment. It's confirmation that they are still important in your mind, even in the smallest moments of the day. Don't wait until free time or something special. Just a soft word, a call of their name, or simply, "I'm here with you," is enough to make them feel safe and deeply loved. How does your dog react when they hear your voice? Do they gently raise their head or come up and touch your leg? Because what comes next touches the deepest instinct of a dog, the place where they choose who to sleep next to when night falls. Section 2. When you let them sleep near you. You might think a dog sleeps next to you, just for warmth, comfort, or because it's a nightly habit. But for a dog, choosing a sleeping spot isn't random. It's a decision rooted in their deepest sense of safety. When they quietly follow you into the bedroom, lie down next to the bed, or simply curl up at your feet, that is how they say, "Here I feel at peace." In the world of their ancestors, the wolves, only individuals that trust each other completely, could sleep side by side. Because sleeping is the moment of greatest vulnerability. That instinct remains in every dog today. So when your dog chooses to lie next to you, it's not just attachment, it's the complete giving of trust. Dogs that sleep near the person they love often feel less stressed, sleep more deeply, and have better emotional stability because they sense your breath, your warmth, and your presence. When was the last time your dog lay close beside you before sleep? Do they usually lie at the foot of the bed, on the floor, or next to the chair you often sit in? Every position tells a story about how connected the two of you are. And then when dawn breaks, what they most look forward to is not breakfast, but the moment they step outside with you and sniff the world in their own way. Section 3. When you give them time to sniff freely, you'd be surprised to know that the simplest thing you can give a dog isn't food or a toy, but time to sniff. To them, every patch of grass, every tree, every breeze holds hundreds of stories. When you let them pause for a little bit, lower their head, and sniff for a while, that isn't just exploration, it's how they connect with the world. Scientists call this process scent mapping, where each scent is like a news feed: who walked by, whether the animal is old or young, healthy or unwell, happy or stressed. Sniffing isn't delay, nor is it annoying. It is a mental necessity, like you reading the news or talking with someone. When you pull the leash impatiently, you inadvertently cut off the moment that helps their mind relax and self-regulate. When was the last time you let your dog sniff freely without hurrying? Did they seem happier afterward? And then when you look up, sometimes you'll see a soft gaze looking at you, a sign that the next section will explain in more detail. Section 4. When you return their gentle gaze. There are times when you're working, cooking, or just sitting quietly, and you notice the small eyes looking at you from a distance. Not asking for food, not asking to go out, just a soft, gentle, trusting look. To a dog, that look isn't just attention, it's connection. Research published in Science shows that when owner and dog gaze into each other's eyes softly, both their brains release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. In the wild, staring into another's eyes could be a challenge, but for a house dog, soft eye contact is a wordless way of saying, "I feel safe when you're here." Happy dogs often look at their owner with that gaze every day, sometimes just for 1 or 2 seconds. But for them, Each of those brief moments is full of emotion. Have you ever caught your dog silently looking at you, then turning away as if they don't want to be noticed? Because when you touch them in just the right way, that trust gets reinforced even stronger, and that's what the next section will touch on. Section 5. When you touch them in the places that make them feel safe, you may have often patted your dog on the head out of habit, but their reaction sometimes isn't what you expected. Not because they don't like you, but because the top of the head is a place they can't easily watch, a place they easily feel pressure. But when you touch the spot they actually love, everything changes. Behavioral studies show that most dogs relax more when petted on the chest, the sides of the shoulders, or under the chin. Those spots help them feel respected, safe, and loved in the most natural way. When you touch the right place, they don't just stay still, they'll tip their head, move closer, breathe more slowly, and relax their whole body. That's the response of true trust. Where does your dog like to be petted the most? Does it lean into your hand when you pause? And if you think connection only comes from petting, you're about to be surprised. Because sometimes what they love most is a quiet moment beside you. Section 6. When you give them moments of silence together, you'll be surprised to find that sometimes the thing a dog loves most isn't a game, isn't praise, but the minutes you sit quietly beside them and ask for nothing. Just being present, calm, gentle enough for them to feel you're really there. In animal behavior research, this is called quiet companionship, non-verbal connection, but with the power to reduce heart rate, lower anxiety, and boost oxytocin in both dog and human. When you sit reading a book, watching TV, or simply breathing gently next to them, their body self-regulates, relaxes bit by bit. They don't need you to pet them, don't need you to talk. They just need you in their space as a signal that everything is safe. When was the last time you sat still and let your dog lean lightly on your leg? Did you feel them breathe slower? Tuck their tail a bit and press closer, because even in silence they still want one important thing: to have a role in your life, which the next section will clarify. Section 7. When you give them a role in the family, you'll be surprised to know that dogs don't just want love, they want the feeling of being useful. When they fetch you a sock, pick up something you dropped, or simply sit beside you while you do chores, it's not curiosity. It's a deep instinct: I want to help, I want to be part of the group. Throughout domestication, dogs developed a pack role mindset. Each member has tasks, and completing those tasks boosts confidence, lowers anxiety, and makes them feel they belong. Behavioral scientists show that even small tasks like pick up toy, sit and wait, or walk next to raise dopamine in a dog, similar to how a human feels good after finishing a small goal. So when your dog gently tugs the towel, brings you your shoe, or simply stands by watching you work, don't view it as mischief. It's their way of saying, I'm helping, I have a role, and that feeling makes them deeply happy. When does your dog like to help most? When you're doing laundry, preparing shoes, or just waking up in the morning. Because when you praise them at the right moment, that joy doubles, and that's what the next section will touch. Section 8. When you praise them at the right moment, gently and warmly, you'll be surprised to know that your praise has more power than any treat. When you say, good job, good boy, good girl, at just the right time, your voice creates a wave of oxytocin that makes both of you feel good. That's the moment their body understands they did something right, that they made you happy, and it makes them want to try again. Scientists found that timely praise activates a reward region in a dog's brain, just like when they get a treat. Sometimes verbal praise is even more effective because your emotion carries a signal of safety that food cannot. A simple compliment at the exact moment they do a good behavior creates an emotional marker that helps them feel confident and connect more deeply with you. How does your dog react when praised at just the right time? Do they tilt their head, wag their tail gently, or come closer to you? Section 9. When they find a sunny patch and lie still in the light. In the morning, just a sunbeam dropping on the floor, and your dog will seek it, turning around, stretching their body, then lying still as if melting into the light. You might think they like warmth. You're right, but there's more to it. Research shows natural light helps a dog's body produce melatonin more consistently, reduce anxiety, relax muscles, and improve mood. Sunbathing is a form of self-healing, similar to meditation. When you see them lying so still that their eyelids droop, breathing evenly, tail twitching gently, That's the moment they feel the most peaceful in the day. A dog only lies to soak up the sun when they know they are in a safe place, which means they trust you completely. Does your dog have a favorite sun patch? By the window on the balcony or right in the middle of the living room? And then when the sun sets, what makes them happiest isn't the light. It's the simple repetition of life beside you. Section 10. When life has small routines, repeated day after day. You open the fridge, they run over. You pick up the toothbrush, they lie down in their usual spot. You pull the curtain, they stretch, preparing to sleep. The things you see as habits, to them, are signals of safety. Dogs don't love surprises. They love the things that repeat every day at the same time with the same sounds, same rhythm. That reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and helps nurture emotional stability. When life has too many changes, they don't act up. They're just worried. When you keep up the small things, feeding time, sleep time, the see you later phrase before you go to work, how you close the door, what you call them every night, all those things in their eyes are love in its most tangible form. Have you noticed that just when you break the schedule a little, the dog looks at you like, this isn't like every day? And when that schedule ends each night, there's a moment that makes their heart beat fastest, what Section 11 will explain. Section 11. When you come home and they greet you like you're their whole world, there is no moment a dog loves more than the second you step through the door. Not because of food, not because of a walk, but because of you, the one they waited for all day. When you return home, a dog's body releases oxytocin just like a child meeting their parent. Heart rate goes up a little, ears perk up, tail like a fan. They run spin jumps, sometimes bring you a toy because they don't know how to express emotions that overflow. That is the purest joy of a dog, and it's reserved for just one person, you. Science calls this reaction joy reactivation. It happens only when a deep bond exists. Not every dog shows it. Only those that are truly happy and trust you show it clearly. How does your dog greet you? Do they bounce, whine happily, or run to pick up their favorite thing to show you? And when that excitement calms down, you'll see what makes them happiest. Sometimes it's just being by your side one more day. Section 12. When they let you touch them and lean on you. There are times your dog comes up close, gently leaning a shoulder against your leg, putting their head in your lap, or tilting their body so you touch them. That's not accidental. That's how they say, I trust you. A dog only leans on someone they feel absolutely comfortable with. Studies show that when a dog voluntarily seeks contact, their brain activates the social safety region, the place where feelings of relaxation, bonding, and love arise. When you gently stroke their chest, shoulders, or under the chin, their body immediately lowers, heart rate loosens muscles, and feels the peace that only the person they love can bring. And when they close their eyes, sigh softly, or tilt their head deeper into your lap, that's a clear sign they are enjoying the moment of being loved, being protected, being themselves. Does your dog often lean on your leg or like to rest their head on your hand each evening? Every way of leaning is a thank you, warm, sincere, and wordless. Because ultimately, what makes a dog happy was never about a new toy or an expensive treat, but about you. When you look deeply into these 12 things dogs love most, you'll realize a truth so simple, it humbles us. What they value most isn't what you buy, but what you do. Your presence, your voice, your gaze, the little routines, and how you love them every day. A happy dog doesn't need a perfect life. They just need to be seen, to be heard, and to be with the person they call family. And that person is you. So among these 12 things, which does your dog like most? Share in the comments so we can all share cute stories together. Thank you for joining Paw Talk Central, where every dog is loved in the way they deserve. See you in the next video.